So first of all, the case is a Protection Racket Hardware case like you'd use just for normal drum hardware. But if we start opening the zips up, let's take a look here. Then we'll find inside a drum mat, which has been heavily cut down. I've got a Roland SPD One kick as well. Let's take that out. Let's take the mat out. And then I've also got this Roland case here. Now this is the actual case for a Roland SPD SX or SPD SX Pro. I believe they take the same case. Now we'll open that in a second. Before we do, we've got a 4-way extension reel. Never want to leave home without that. We've got a pearl drum stool. And of course the bass, which we might as well put straight away, straight in there. And we just do that up, already set to the right height, of course. We've got 2 pairs of drumsticks in there. And then we've got the SPD SX or any SPD, in fact, Roland stand. So let's go ahead and set them up. Move the case out of the way. We will be coming back to that in a moment. But basically, all it is, we've got a stool, nice and easy to set up. Just drop that behind me there. And then we've got the stand, which I always just leave set at the right height. Nice and easy. Of course, we've got the mat, but I won't bother setting that up since this room's carpeted. And all I do is put the SPD One kick between the stand, like that, between the 2 legs. And then in here, we've got the SPD SX Pro itself. Perfect, okay. Now I always keep in here the adapter for the Pro as well. So let's just plug that in, get rid of the case. Okay, nice and easy. There we go. And now in the hardware case, we've got a couple of leads. I've got a jack to jack, which will go into an amp. So let's just plug that into, I just go mono, to be honest. You could go, of course, stereo, but for most of the restaurant stuff, it's kind of overkill. So what I'm gonna do is plug that into my amp over here. And then I'm just gonna plug in the Pro as well. Okay, and then the other lead I've got in here is just for the SPD One kick. You can run these off batteries as well, but a bit safer to use mains cable. Although at least if the lead did ever break, I could run to the shop and just go and grab some batteries. Now there's one more lead that I keep in here. I bought it especially for this setup. It's 1/2 meter in length, and all I do is plug it into the output, mono output of the SPD One kick, and then plug the other end into the line input of the Pro, volume up to max. The reason I plug the SPD One kick into the line input of the Pro is because the kick has its own brain. It's not actually a trigger. If I was to use something like one of the pads from my TD30 over there, I would simply plug that into one of the trigger in inputs, but I can't do that. So as I say, volume on max over here, and then literally just plug it in, and that'll work. And what you can do then is obviously use the sounds that are on the kick. So forgive my socks here, but let's see if we get any sound. There we go. Let me play you a quick 4 bars. I'll just quickly show you this patch that I use. You can see how much I've been using pad 8 as the snare drum, by the way, and pad 9 as cross stick. They're all more worn, and the hi-hat one, than some of the others that I don't use as much. So we've got basically a full snare drum sound. We've got like a cross stick, side stick sound. We've got a shaker instead of a hi-hat, a little bit more kind of soft, a little bit more Latin-y. And then we've got high conga, low conga, and then we've got ride cymbal as well, crash cymbal, there with the bass drum, and then we've got electric shaker. And then here we've just got like a kind of jam block thing, high pitched jam block, and then if I hit it hard enough, we've got chimes. Gotta have chimes. So this setup can be packed down in like 4 or 5 minutes. It's great at the end of the night when you just need to kind of get out of there, get on the way home as quickly as possible. And so far I've been using it for probably 12 to 15 months since the Pro came out, actually, whenever that was. And it's never let me down. It's been brilliant. It's worked really well, lots of different environments. So yeah, maybe give it a go. I know it's not the cheapest setup in the world to get started with, but if you're doing quite a few gigs, maybe it's not a bad consideration. If you want to find out more about how to get more from your SPD SX Pro or electronic drums, then do subscribe and make sure you check out this video for some more tips and tricks.